Hi, I'm Izzy, and this is Dizzy Quilts and Sews. In today's video, I have this or that, the sewing edition. So this is a super fun tag started by Julie at the Created Curvy. She heard all of these questions, I think, on the Love to Sew podcast, and she decided to start a tag here on YouTube, which is super, super fun. So all of the questions follow the this or that format. So you have two options. You pick whichever one you like best. All of the questions are grouped under 4 topics. So yeah, let's get started with topic number 1, which is sewing prep. So question number 1, shopping new or stash busting? Now, you have to have purchased it new to have it in your stash. So I guess it's purchase new, but I have been sewing from my stash this year a lot. So stash busting, a little bit of both, really. Question number 2, PDFs versus paper patterns. I think what this means is indie pattern companies versus the big 5 companies. I like PDFs. I like indie patterns. I despise big 5. I have yet to try one that works for me. Typically, I'm at the top of the size range. In some, I don't even fit in the range. And they are, I don't like the tissue paper. Anyways, I'm a PDF or indie pattern company, like all the way. Question number 3, cutting versus tracing. Now, I print my PDFs at home, and yes, I stick all the paper tiles together. I actually enjoy doing that. For me, it's, I don't know, it's relaxing. I typically print all of my patterns in the city, like over the summer months, print everything in the city, then take it to the island house for the weekend. And then while we're watching a movie or something, I'm going to tape all my PDFs together. So I'm on the cutting team because I can just reprint it if something goes horribly wrong. Number 4, muslin or just go for it. I'm muslin, 100%. I do not like wasting fabric, not even muslin fabric, or not even fabric I don't love. I don't believe in wearable toiles. If I'm willing to use the fabric for a toile, then it's because I don't love it. And if I don't love it, I won't wear it. So it's not a wearable toile. It's just a toile. So yes, so I definitely muslin, especially if I've never made the pattern, or if I've never made a pattern from that company before. I definitely muslin. Topic number 2 is all about fabrics. So online shopping or in-store shopping? I do 99.9% of my fabric shopping online, and that's because I don't have a whole lot of stores locally that I can shop at. There is, Fabricville, which is basically almost like a Joann's. It's hit or miss in terms of dressmaking fabrics. And there is another store called Club Tissu, which is fine, but it's quite a drive for me to get there. And ever since the pandemic, I despise shopping in person, and that includes fabric shopping. So I really don't mind the online shopping. I don't mind that I can't touch it or feel it. And I've had really good luck with most of the fabric that I've purchased online. Knits versus wovens. I'm almost split 50-50, but I'm leaning a little bit towards wovens. I enjoy sewing them. I enjoy the process of sewing wovens. French seams, pressing, I enjoy sewing wovens, and I enjoy wearing wovens. I feel that a well-made or well-fitting woven garment is just as comfortable as a knit garment. And a woven garment that fits you properly won't cling to anything. I hate cling. So yeah, I'm leaning towards wovens. Number 3, tumble dry or hang to dry. It depends. It depends on the fabric. It depends on the garment. It just depends. Some fabrics I will always hang to dry. Some fabrics I'll tumble dry on low. So it depends. Rotary cutters versus scissors. Rotary cutters all the way. I'm a quilter. That's what got me started sewing. And I got really used to just using rulers and rotary cutters and mats. And I really don't like using scissors to cut out fabric. Topic number 3 is clothing construction. So question number 1 is follow the pattern or wing it. I follow the pattern 100%. Unless I really don't understand what the pattern says or the instructions don't make sense to me, and I feel I could do it better doing it another way. But I'd say 95% of the time I follow the patterns. Bias tape finish or facings? I guess it depends. I've not been very successful using bias tape on woven garments. I can never get them to lie completely flat, and I really don't like it when my collar or my neckline stands up because of the bias tape. And even if I use self fabric, or it does it to me most of the time, and I really don't like that look at all. So I prefer facings. Usually once in a blue moon, I'll use bias tape. Like for the Rhapsodies, it's bias tape, but it's not flipped to the inside. It covers the raw edges, basically. But yeah, usually it's facings. Serged seams or French seams. Here again, it depends. Some fabrics I prefer French seams, and some fabrics I prefer serged seams. It depends. Button fly versus zip fly? Well, neither, because I've not made a fly yet. But I do know that in ready to wear, I much prefer zipper flies. Yeah, I really don't enjoy fighting with the buttons when I need to go to the washroom, for example, and then doing them back up again. It's just too much faffing for me. Button by hand or machine sewn? Definitely machine sewn. I figured out now how to set up my machine with a zigzag stitch and lower my feed dogs and just sew my buttons with a zigzag stitch. I leave my tails long. I take a needle, make sure all the tails are on the underside, and then I tie a neat little knot, and I've not lost a button yet, so it works for me, and I really don't like hand sewing, so definitely machine sewn. Fusible versus sew-in interfacing. Fusible, I've never ever used sewn-in interfacing. Snip as you go or all at once? Definitely snip as you go, because if not, I'll forget, and then I'll be wearing it for the first time and I'll be out and I'll have a nice thread dangling from a cuff or something. So definitely snip as I go. And then press as you go or all at once. I press as I go. Isn't that one of like the cardinal rules of garment sewing? You always press as you go, or at the very least, you press a seam before you're going to sew something onto it. So you never sew an intersecting seam that you haven't pressed yet. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Anywho, I press as I go. And then the final topic is sewing habits. So question number 1 is late night seamstress or daytime seamstress. So I have a full-time job. I work all day, every day. So I'm a nighttime seamstress. During the summer because I spend all my weekends away. And then when we close the summer house and I'm back in the city full time, I sew in the evenings during the week and during the day on weekends when we have no other plans. Question number 2, slow and steady or frantic sewing? I would say neither. I'm not a super slow sewist. I'm pretty quick, but I wouldn't say I'm frantic. I just slow at a good, I sew at a good pace, I guess. Yeah. Tidy as you go or one big cleaning session? I have to tidy as I go because I have cats, one of whom, Bear, loves to come down here and play with anything that's not put away. In particular, my tailor's ham. I don't know what it is about my tailor's ham, but Bear loves it. If I leave it on my ironing board, Bear is going to jump on top of the ironing board, push the tailor's ham to the floor, and then go around the house with my tailor's ham in his mouth. So I do have to tidy up after each session before I get out of my room. And then once a project is done, that's when I do a bigger cleanup. So I put away all my scraps, put away my pattern, clean my machines, rethread them for the next project, change my needle, all of that good stuff. So in between each project, there's a bigger cleanup, but that at the end of each session, I have to put all my tools away so that Bear doesn't steal them. So there you have it. That was a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed watching everybody else's this or that videos. So I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon and record my own. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any other questions for me or need anything or have any questions about what my answers were, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm not going to tag anybody because a lot of people have already been tagged and have done their own videos. But if you have a YouTube channel and you'd like to take part and you haven't done so yet, consider yourself tagged. And if you're a viewer and you'd like to answer those questions, put your answers down below. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.